Hi everyone, Dr. Seibert here, tuning in to talk about your chapter this week. And to me, this is kind of the heart and soul of probably many economies, manufacturing really. And as the United States has gone from manufacturing to technology, many other countries are still in a manufacturing stage, such as China, even though they are proceeding with technological, they are still very much a manufacturing country, whereas the United States really isn't anymore. We're more technology based. So we're trying to get some more manufacturing to come back. We'll see if that happens. But manufacturing really, to me, is the heart and soul of a lot of things that go on in economics, because you got to produce something if you're going to sell something and you want other people or countries to buy it. Hence, we have the GDP, gross domestic product. So I think about airplanes when I talk about this. When Spirit builds the 737 fuselage, we know they're going to pay some fixed costs, probably if they pay rent or lease their buildings, and they're going to have variable costs, their electricity. For example, when they were making the 737 MAX, they were probably full steam ahead. They were putting them out right and left. So their variable cost per airplane would go down the more they made, although their fixed costs were going to stay the same. Now things have come to a halt, pretty much because the travel industry is kaput, and also the 730 MAX was grounded last year because of crashes. So when they make one, there's going to be all the fixed costs attached to it and all the variable costs attached to it. So where maybe they were making, let's say, 5 a month and they're making 1 a month, big difference in what the cost of that airplane is going to be. And they're going to have to probably eat some of those costs because of what's happened with the 737 MAX. So a good example of this is your figure 22.2, which shows you different price points, fixed costs and variable costs when producing different amounts of a product. And like I said, to have a GDP, we have to have something to sell and we have to have somebody to buy it. So right now, at the end of September, they'll figure out what our quarterly GDP is. I'll let you know what it is. I can't imagine it was much. I don't know what we're selling really as far as a country. But I think the United States is probably prudent in bringing some manufacturing back. I'll give you a case in point with ibuprofen. I did not know until the pandemic that 95% of ibuprofen is made in China, which I never thought about before. I really don't take it. But maybe that's something that manufacturing should bring back here. And maybe that's something I would pay a little bit more for now that I know different things. So if a pharmaceutical is going to start doing it here, we're going to go with they're going to have fixed costs and they're going to have these variable costs that's probably going to be more than China, because China is still in a manufacturing, going to a technological society. So anyway, this is really a great chapter, has some equations to it on how we get to different stages with manufacturing, and tells us, that as we make more things, sometimes we have diminishing returns on it. Like to me, iPhones right now, they're making and probably selling a ton of iPhones. They're not making as much money off them because everybody knows they're coming out with a new iPhone next month. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So Apple's probably seeing diminishing returns on all those, waiting for that big one that everybody like me will end up buying that day. So do you want to tell you about your midterm? It'll be week 8. And the midterm consists of 70 multiple choice questions and a 30-point essay. The 30-point essay is a subject about microeconomics that you have learned this last 8 weeks that you maybe enjoyed, or maybe you thought more about, or maybe even a pack-back question about economics. And you will write me an introduction, tell me about what you're talking about, and then conclude it. So that's 30 points. The test is 100 points. It's a test that can be, you start it and you can stop it. And of course, since it's online, you can use your books and that kind of thing. Most of it's going to be a lot of definitions, and I don't believe there's any math on it. So anyway, that's 100 points on that, and so that'll be on week 8. So anyway, think about our subject this week as far as fixed and variable costs. Maybe in your life, what do you have that's a fixed and variable cost? Maybe you have a car payment, that's fixed, but variable, our air conditioning in the summer, now it's nice, it won't be as much. So things that fluctuate versus something that you have every month. Anyway, have a great week, and we'll talk later.